What is up, everybody? I am Mumphy. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, thank you for joining. Today, it's time to armor up. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, today we are armoring up. I did get a delivery. Here it is in the box. I'm excited to open it up and show you guys. So here we go. Oh yeah. Check that out. So, super excited to be putting on the TRD Toyota genuine part skid plate. So I didn't order it when I first got the truck, so we'll be getting rid of the minuscule skid plate that kind of comes on it. It's pretty thin sheet metal. We're doing the aluminum that's, if I remember right, it's like a 1/4 inch thick aluminum, so excited to be putting that on. Alright, so when you first get it, if you order it off of Amazon, is obviously it comes in the box. It does come with kind of an instruction sheet and tells you what bolt sizes or socket sizes you're going to need. All of the bolts that are currently on the Tacoma are 12 millimeters, so you'll need a short 12 millimeter and you'll need a long one to undo a couple of access bolts. You will need a 17 millimeter for these 4 bolts that'll replace the 12 mil that we're taking off of the old one. These back 2 bolts here are still the 12 millimeter, so you'll still need that. So let's get that ugly thing off. Here we go. Alright, first things first, we'll throw down a piece of cardboard so, you know, I can stay somewhat clean. Alright, as we slide under here, you got a couple of bolts up towards your tow hook that we'll remove. Make sure you have an extension socket for the 12 mil and then a short. There's a couple more 12 millimeter bolts basically holding on this front section. If you don't have the TRD Pro skid plate, this one comes in 2 pieces. So we'll be taking off the front section first, and then this back section, and replacing the whole thing with the TRD Pro skid plate. Now, when you remove this last bolt, this is going to want to swing down. So just be mindful of that so you don't end up hitting your head. The nice thing is that there are a couple of clips towards the front here that's holding this on. So you have this hook and this hook holding this front skid plate on. So you're able to just unhook that and drop it down and remove. Okay, next we're going to remove that back section. And as we go under here, you can see that way in the back we have a couple of 12 mils. So here and over here. But you also have a couple of 12 mils up towards the front, which are actually tucked back here. So this is where you'll need your extension in order to reach these. one thing I do recommend is to definitely have your cardboard down, just so you can slide it around without scratching it up. Now that we're here, we've only got 6 bolts that we need to tighten on this thing. 4 of them are going to require a 17 mil. 2 in the back are going to require the 12. The best way if you're going to do this by yourself is you may have to lay down underneath it and just kind of hold it up with your legs. There really isn't a whole lot of weight on this, so it's not super heavy like a steel skid plate would be. If you have a steel skid plate, I'd probably recommend having somebody else here to kind of help you lift it up. But because this is it's an aluminum skid plate, it's 1/4 inch thick, I should be able to do this on my own. So what I'm going to end up doing, because I don't have a lift, I'm just going to position this on my legs, and just position myself to where I need this to be. Okay, I'm really glad that I did this. I know I look a little silly under here, and one thing I did not expect was I thought we were just going to be reutilizing the old bolt positions, but it looks like we're going to have to remove a couple more. So with that, I will need a 17 mil, and we're going to be removing some bolts. I'll bring you back in. Alright guys, I know I looked a little bit ridiculous there, but this is trial and error, and I'm figuring this stuff out as I'm going along as well, installing this thing. So what I found out is that the 17 mil bolts on the skid plate are going to replace what looks like 17 mil bolts on the underside of the truck, and here's where they are. So as we come under the truck, you have this bolt here, you have this bolt here, and I think we're going to be removing this one and this one. Everything else is going to stay the same, and we're going to be replacing these bolts with the bolts that are on the skid plate now. We'll still be tying into the 12 mil bolt positions in the back, but we need to remove these. So here we go. Now on the driver's side, you have 2 bolts, and it's going to be the one closest to the middle of the truck. Alright, now I got to fix a problem that I came across when test fitting again. The bolt that I needed to remove along the arms is actually the one further back. There are 2 towards the midsection of the engine, or where the oil cap is. You have 2 bolts here. The one I removed further back I have to replace, and I am taking out the one at the very back. So, alright. Alright, I hope that fixes it. Let's do another test fit. Alright. Looks like we got everything lined up. It's looking like where it needs to be. So, we'll go ahead, take my extension off, and we'll get these front bolts started. Now we're not trying to cinch everything up, we're just trying to get it tight so I can at least get all of the bolts attached. Alright, now one thing that I just found out is that an easy way to kind of do this is after you get the front 2 bolts in position, trying to line up the back 2 might be a little tricky. So what I recommend doing is to get the back 12 mil to at least bite down a little bit, and then this middle bolt should cinch up into the old bolt hole to where you can tighten it down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the 12 mil in the back, way back here, and get that started in its groove, and then I'll come back and cinch this up. All right. And I was just able to do that with my fingers just to kind of get a couple of twists in. Now I can take my 17, make sure that this one is lined up where it needs to be, so I can tighten it up. Now you'll be able to look up underneath here to see if you've got the bolt situated correctly. Alright, now that I've got the two middle cinched up, I can go back and I can tighten up everything else, and we can get the 12 mil in the back cinched up, and we're basically done. Alright, everything is hand tight now. 12 mils in the back, the 17 mils that we took out and replaced. You do have the spacers on those on the Pro skid plate that kind of helps keep this spaced out where it needs to be. We're done. Looks great. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this install. Man, I think it looks great. Getting rid of that that old skid plate and putting it on the TRD skid plate. Just excelente. Plus it goes well with the red on the Demon brackets. Or at least my shackles. Yeah, so thanks for joining me on this install. It's always fun to kind of, you know, figure out some of the problems that you run into when doing this kind of stuff, as you saw. But the overall look and feel turns out great. I mean, you feel accomplished, or at least I feel accomplished after I figure it out. But thanks again for joining me on this install. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. I got more videos coming down the line. I can only do so many install videos, so we'll probably do some more discussion style videos. Let me know if there's something you want me to talk about, cover. If you have questions or anything, please leave a comment, consider subscribing, and if you like this video, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Looking forward to doing more stuff with you guys. Thanks again. I appreciate you. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.